So good morning and thank you for being here this morning. Our next roundtable has a very inspiring title, The Quintessence of Luxury Travel. One of the main topics of Forwards this year is the local culture and art of a destination, because we think that the arts and crafts of a place represents the very essence of sophistication and excellence, and it distinguishes one destination from the other. So that is the topic that we're going to cover now. I have with me these three excellent speakers. Juan Garrido, owner of the Silversmith's Garrido Gallery. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Xandra Falcó, president of the Círculo Fortuny, who represents Spanish luxury brands. And Francisco Carvalheira,
Correct.
Secretary General of Laurel, which is the Association of Portuguese Excellence Brands. We're going to start with Juan. Juan, I would like you to tell us more about Garrido Gallery and how did the company start? What is the history behind Garrido Gallery?
So we are second generation Silversmith family. My father founded the company in 1953. So next year will be the 70th anniversary. So we are very proud. He was a good recognized silversmith because, his quality in the finishing and in the works that in each piece that he made. And thanks, his job, he received a good recognition with the, status as, Spanish royal family, the government president, each others. And my sister and I start working with my dad when when we were young age, And thanks to be close to my dad allowed us to develop, the most important, to know about how you have to make the pieces, basically with handmade pieces, and we advanced in a new step, which was to work with the, contemporary design. So, but the most fundamental for us was to acquire the knowledge, thanks to be with my dad, and spend so much time with him in his workshop to know all the techniques and to manage the tools that we need to develop our pieces in the future.
So a proper craftsman, a proper craftsmanship.
Exactly.
Business.
Yeah, no, because, he was in a very, he demanded, all the time to work with the best quality in the pieces. Even when we were in the, we were in the beginning, of the process, so we feel very proud to, and thank goodness to have someone like my dad who was fundamental in order to advance with our project now, because he was a very, very important person for us.
So I'm moving now to Francisco. Francisco, what is the difference between an artisan and an artificer?
Okay. As you know, I would like to speak in Spanish because it's the way that we have to honor the Spanish artisans. And some words we cannot translate.
You can mix Spanish with English.
Okay. Voy a explicar la razón. En Portugal, nosotros tenemos la palabra artesão, that can be translated for artisan, artesano, y el artífice. La diferencia es que un artesano es alguien que hace las cosas para las ferias locales, pero no lleva su talento, su pequeña ocupación como una profesión. O sea, lo hace al final del día, al final de semana, se va por las ferias, pero en términos culturales son muy importantes. Atención. El artífice es la palabra... Sorry?
In English.
In English, sorry. El artífice is someone who specializes in do something, okay? Usually they are connected with brands. For example, a lady who paints, she takes 10 years to be a master. Usually an artifice needs 10 years to be recognized. And that is the main difference. An artifice is someone professional, is a person with talent, but his life is his profession, and dedicates and it works together with brands.
Okay, so I think it's clear the difference. Thank you very much
Yeah,
for explaining it.
it's a difference because an artifice is someone who has a career, who has training, who has, he needs to study, okay? He needs to take 10 years to get the title of, to be a master, okay? That's the reason. It's different. It's his life, it's his job, it's his money, it's his pay, it's his salary, where it came from.
And this first round of questions is going to be closed by Xandra. Xandra, I would like you to explain us more about Círculo Fortuny and also which role does this Círculo Fortuny plays in promoting the brands that are members of your association.
So what is Círculo Fortuny? Círculo Fortuny was founded in 2011. We are an association of the Spanish luxury brands. We have all sorts of brands. We have cultural, we have cultural, creative, and historic brands that we aim to promote our heritage, to promote our knowledge, to promote the design, doing products and services that we will sell in Spain and outside Spain. Círculo Fortuny unites the brand at an institutional level, trying to promote the image of Spain, not promoting each brand on its own. And one of the main things that we do is to develop studies about the industry. The luxury world it's quite an important sector in Europe. The last European study in which we participated, we are members of ECIA, which is the European Cultural and Creative Industries Alliance, with Laurel, who is a Portuguese member, and Comité Colbert in France, Fondazione Altagamma in Italy, Meisterkreis in Germany, and Whirlpool in England. And we did a study on the size of the luxury market, and the size of the luxury market is 1,500 billion euros. And it's around 4% of the GDP, of the European GDP, and 10% of all exports. But the most important thing is that 72% of the world of luxury is European. So when we talk about creative industries and cultural industries, we are talking about Europe. When we are aiming to address an international Chinese tourist or an American tourist, and he's thinking about creativity and culture, 7 out of 10 are thinking in Europe. Yeah. So that is a very important key point. And how do we unite it? We are today presenting a study by McKinsey that we will be presenting this afternoon of the size of the market in Spain and the exports of Spain and what the Spanish CEOs have to do. No? That will be this afternoon. But how do we unite it with craft? Because every luxury brand is born from the hands of a master artisan, artifice. That's it. If you think about Hermès, you think about Vuitton, you think about Loewe, you think about a winery, you think about Garrido, it all started in the hands of an artisan. And that is very unique and part of our culture. So our idea in Círculo Fortuny is to put together institutions, government, and all the agents in the sector and the brands to try and promote the Spanish sector and to make it grow. Try and have the same growth and same market share as our friends in Italy or in France have. You know, that they're basically double the size of the Spanish market, and in the case of Italy, and 3 times the size of the Spanish market in the case of France. So that's a little bit what we do, who we are. We're 74 brands as we speak, and among our brands we have Museo del Prado or Teatro Real, so cultural, or Patrimonio Nacional, very important cultural institutions, and we have brands like Loewe, which is a Spanish brand, although it's, because the importance is the brand, not the ownership of the brand. Brands like Loewe, or Vega Sicilia, or Marqués de Grignon, different brands in different industries, and also artisans, of course.
The second question is for both Laurel and Círculo Fortuny. We are talking here since yesterday about luxury or high-impact travel. So I would like to hear from you. What do you think is a luxury destination? Maybe, Francisco, you want to... sorry.
Okay. If we want a definition, and we return 10 years back, I would give you a definition. Nowadays, depends. If you ask for a Chinese tourist, maybe has a concept and a definition. If you ask a North American, he has another definition. Why? Because there is so many people traveling today that luxury destination doesn't mean the same for all of us. In my point of view, the luxury destinations are splitting. The ones who are in the club of the Ritz, the Amans, who are huge, huge hotels with a nice quality service, etc. And you have another group that is finding or trying to find small hotels, boutique hotels, where they know their name, where the breakfast, they only have 6 rooms. But everything in there, it's typical from the local. The bread is done by that morning. Sometimes you wake up at 6 in the morning and goes to do the bread, okay? People is looking for experience. People is looking for experience who enter in my heart, and I feel so well, so comfortable. On this, I think COVID was very important. People realized that I can be the most wealthy person in the world, but
It doesn't matter.
that doesn't matter. And people realize that, okay, if I only live 70 years, 80 years, let me have some fun and some quality. I think the big lesson from COVID is quality. People now is looking for quality.
So quality is a luxury
Quality
item.
and new inspirations, you know. People likes, I'll give you an example. What Portugal is doing in Douro, in Comporta, is exactly this. You sell plots of 5,000 square meters by 25 millions. The houses there are very simple, but all the quality is there, and very important. All the materials are eco-friendly. They are doing the same in Odoro. In Odoro, one of our brands is going to open next year an hotel, 6 houses, all are independents, are small hotels inside. The per night is 7,000 euros.
Wow.
Okay, but everything in there, all materials are eco-friendly. The water is reserved for the gardens, etc. The soaps come from a natural grass. Everything is there. And this is what people is looking now. And they are open and they don't care about how much it costs.
Do you agree with him, Xandra?
I agree. I fully agree. I think that you have to divide, obviously, the concept of luxury or what luxury travelers are looking for varies from country to country and varies in age of the population. Yeah. Young people are not looking for the same thing as baby boomers and so on. No? So you can identify different types of clients. The newest client, which Francisco is talking about, is a quiet luxury. Quiet luxury is coming, and it's coming with a lot of strength. People who already know what they're looking for, they have the education, they have the knowledge of what the products are, and they don't need that much the brand. There's a second type of client that is still looking for the brand, no? And they want to go to a place for shopping, for so on, and they're looking at a big name. No? So you have different groups. No? If you talk about the 2 main groups would be maybe China and the United States, probably look for different things. No? China is still more focused on luxury shopping and not so much the experience, although the new generations are looking for the experience. And if you talk about the US, they are much more focused on the experience. Yeah. And within the experience, you have many different things, because obviously you have sports, in which Spain is very good. You have nature, winery, and all of that, and then you have city destinations. For me, for example, an example of someone who's doing their homework has been doing the homework very well over the recent years is Madrid. Madrid has become a luxury destination, and it's growing in that sense, no? With big hotel brands, with gastronomy, with shopping, and with everything that is around that. No? I think they're doing a very good job.
Yeah.
There is a couple of Germans who bought a small villa in Portugal. They have capacity around 10 people. I know them because they are my clients in private jets. They came in private jets. The first rule when they arrive, they need to disconnect the mobile. They only have 1 hour of internet per day, 1 hour before dinner. You know what is their daily basis? They wake up, they go to the market, they buy the things, they cook with the people. They don't have bodyguards. They stay crazy. You know what is more funny? They have no website, they have nothing. They live from recommendations. You know how much it costs per day? 8,000.
All right.
They have a list of people waiting for the experience. But everything you have in there is high quality.
So what we are talking now, what I have understood until now is that luxury is unique experiences. It's what people are looking for. Yeah?
Depends the age and the country.
Yeah.
Sorry, but it's true.
Yeah, it's true. So I'm going back to Juan now. How can a skilled artisan as yourself create a strong brand? And what kind of unique experiences can you put together for a customer, like a high-impact traveler, for instance, or for people looking for unique experiences?
It's true. As Xandra and Francisco has mentioned, the most important is the quality. Yeah. So under my point of view, there are 3 pillars which are fundamental in our sector, which is quality, exclusivity, and design. Why? It's important also to know where you are and where you would like to go, right? And of course, to know your market is fundamental too. And to know your strong points and your weak point, no? In order to improve, no? The quality in your service or product. In our case, we changed completely the pieces that my father made. Why? Because we realized that the market was changing, and we decided to change the format, the shapes of the pieces that we were developing. How was the change? To go in a new contemporary way. Contemporary means new shapes where we adapt the new format on the pieces to give more value to the art pieces. No pieces for the household, right? So that was the first point when it's important to know. So this is my workshop, this is my capacity to improve, and we need to find our needs in the market. Mm-hmm. And that is fundamental for all the artisans. So to combine the design is, for me, fundamental as well. Why? Because, okay, you can have a good knowledge of your crafts, but you need also to improve and develop a new line and a new trend, a new way with your pieces.
Exactly. Juan is Garrido is a member of Círculo Fortuny, and it's a clear example. I totally agree with what you're saying. If you think about the big brands like Hermes started making guarnicionería, no? Things for horses and horseback. When that market ended over 100 years ago, they started to change to travel and doing bags, and they worked for the army and so on. And then they started making bags. But the knowledge was the same, was the treatment of leather. That craftsmanship and knowledge and artificio around the leather and sewing the leather was there, which is what Garrido does, no? The knowledge of the martelé, of the different methods that you use is there. But maybe the product has changed because nobody is using anymore a silver frame, and what you're looking for is pieces of art.
We try to get, I don't know exactly the word, but thanks to my dad, all the techniques that he transmit to us, I'm using in our new collection, which is the difference, that we maintain the same techniques, but we are developing a new line.
New products.
Because we maintaining the traditional craftsmanship in our pieces.
And the essence of Spain, because
but
Spain
we
has
develop
always
a new
been
line.
very
That
good
is important.
silversmiths.
The handmade pieces.
Exactly.
Exactly.
No, Spain has always been traditional excellence in silversmith and maintained over the centuries. So what they are keeping is a legacy that has been here for centuries, applying it to a new product, which is actually the future of craft has to go on what we call alta artesanía, or you call, has to go in that way. You have to have the knowledge, you have to have the craftsmanship, you have to have the work, but you have to adapt to new design, they introduce new design.
Yeah, this, unfortunately, the handicap that I found in Spain is mostly of the workshop they were working in silver, they close.
Yeah.
Because they, it's not, you need maintain, as I mentioned in the past, you are, good knowledge about the craft. But if you are offering to the clients or to the global market always the same, that doesn't make sense now. You need to, add an additional value, which is the design. You know what I mean?
I'll give you an idea. Once in London with the CEO of Bentley, he asked for the audience, who is the most important guy in my company? And all people are saying, you. And no, I'm maybe not the one. The most important person in Bentley is the guy who does only at 30 years buy, choose, and cut the leather for the shares of Bentley. Why? Because it's something for them cannot have a minimum mistake. 30 years doing that.
And that is one of the purposes of Círculo Fortuny.
Exactly.
One of our strategies of work, lines of work, is to try and promote and give back the prestige to master artisan. And that is fundamental. In Europe, we're in the year of skills as well, no? So with ECHIA, we talk about the year of skills and what we could do at the European level. But to give back the sense of what has happened in the kitchen. No? I come from the wine world, so the gastronomy is very close to my heart. And the gastronomy and the chefs have turned everything around. The same thing has to happen for the craft, for the alta artesanía. It has to happen because these people, we need to invite them and promote them and to make them sure of themselves that they're doing something that is unique and gives them allure, no? Prestige in their community. And we are on the 3rd year next year of the Master Maestro Artesano Awards, and we will keep on doing that because we think that is one of the pillars of luxury and luxury travel.
On the 14th of July, every year in France, the president, in the most important moment, he attributes 10 titles of masters to French guys.
Yeah.
Imagine.
I would like to ask you a question because we're running out of time, and I got still one interesting question at least for you. So, do you think that craftsmanship, businesses such as the one Juan runs, they are really attracting tourists? I mean, are they the thing that people decide that they are flying, or when they are in a destination, they want to have that item?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Definitely. I'll give an example. Last year in September, I had not millionaires, 10 billionaires coming from the United States, all in his private jets. They've done cross-Atlantic, only to stay 1 week on the vineyards doing the collect of grapes. I don't know the name in English to para coger las uvas, pisar las uvas, la fiesta, todo, andar con la gente cogiendo las uvas y tal. Estamos hablando de tíos que no son billonarios, son multibillonarios, ¿okay? Y les encantó comer con la gente del pueblo y a estar ahí con ellos, y la experiencia de quedarse con ellos, estaban encantados, ¿okay? No tenían ni móvil, ni guardaespaldas, ni nada. Esto lo pagan.
Yeah.
I fully agree. No, I think that craft is it adds everything that Juan was saying. No, the quality, the heritage, the tradition, and the uniqueness. And when you talk about the high net worth individuals, which is a group that is growing, or the ultra high net worth, then the ultra high net worth individuals, they're not only going to buy the same thing they can buy even in France or Italy. They want this sense of a unique experience and a unique product. I was speaking with the director of the Prado Museum, and he was telling me that he gets more groups that want to see the Prado, but what they want to do, and they pay, they name a price, is to visit no,
The
los,
color,
no?
the color.
Under, no? Where you're restoring a piece of art to meet the artisans that are, no, that are doing
The backstage.
the
right?
backstage, no? And more and more they're looking for this exclusivity and this uniqueness, and I think craft is definitely one of those pieces.
Luxury, it will be always analogic.
Eh?
Analogic.
Analog.
NTF. Remember?
Digital represents is important, but honestly, the true luxury, you will
I
not
completely
buy an
agree with you.
expensive thing without feel, without go. That is our heart.
Well, not me, but maybe, new generations, they're changing. You never know. No?
It's not true.
Okay.
No, but it's
Let's
true,
see.
though.
In the next year, we talk
No,
about
the new
it.
generations are going towards this.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In a-
It's
in
the
a
ones who are
global-
buying
It's
experience.
what they're buying.
I think that in a global, this is my thought, in a global market with this, the digital and process are more important, I think that it will be very attractive. This is my point of view.
No, I agree.
To find beautiful workshops with you, you are like if you were in the 19th century or beginning 20th century, looking the people how they are using the same tools, the same, techniques for making pieces with could be, sometimes they are traditional or sometimes are very contemporary. That is very attractive for the tourists as well, no?
But the important thing, just
Because
to make a
it's
point,
very unusual.
is to distinguish what Francisco was saying. The difference between craft, that you can find in every market on the street, and this high-end craft.
Exactly.
That is the difference. That is culture, that is knowledge, that is education, and it's heritage. And that is what they're looking for.
That is what we have in Europe, Unix.
Yeah, it's true.
Storytelling
It's true.
with centuries.
It's true.
I'll give you a few examples. In Portugal, we have carpintería naval. Hacemos las carabelas hace 600 años. Rey Harald de Noruega, los grandes americanos de la clase J, que es la clase de vela más elitista del mundo, van ahí, están ahí 8 días con su barco recuperando y se quedan encantados de ir a comer con el señor Santos de 80 años que hace y pagan.
They pay for it. That's right.
Rey Harald de Noruega estuve ahí con nosotros una semana.
Okay, last question, and this is the last question. This is for the three of you, but I would like you to be very brief because we are running out of time. So, what do you think about cooperation with other associations, and in your case, with other artisans? Juan, if you want to talk about it, do you cooperate with other craftsmen, other companies that are the same kind of companies as yours?
Okay, I'm going to be very tight because the time, there are only 2 minutes left. So basically, I think that is very, very important. In our case, I again repeat in my sample, we are developing a beautiful collection with one of the with top interior designers and architects. So the idea which was to develop a beautiful collection which they are designing the pieces and we will be manufacturing in our workshop.
It's amazing.
And of course, and all the pieces that will be made in silver. Because we would like, with this project, we would like to highlight again the silver as art craft and artistic art crafts. The same, and it was in 19th century, with the same quality than the old master made the traditional silver pieces. We will be making this collection, but with an additional point, which will be the design and the concept, the silver like art pieces, and to put the collection or to launch the collection in the art market, because the names with the art behind us are the best, and they also want to contribute to put the silver in the first ranking.
Mm-hmm. And what do you think about cooperating? I mean, you are an
Círculo
association,
Fortuny.
of course, so I mean...
Círculo Fortuny, we are an association, and we love to cooperate, and our purpose is to unite all the luxury Spanish brands into the same aim that is promoting this idea of the well-made and cultural products in Spain. No? And there Juan participates a lot. There are other artisans in Círculo Fortuny, and on a European level, we collaborate with ECHIA, as we were saying, and we have a pan-European board with which we meet I think it's 4 or 5 times a year. So yes, I think it's key. And for us as Círculo Fortuny, I think it's also key, as I was saying, to try and talk with institutions and government to lead the way, making studies that tell us what needs to be done and trying to explain it. The last study which we did, which actually I've read in your, that is a study that we made, is the study on luxury, on turismo de alto impacto.
Yeah.
That is done by ECHIA, which is done by Círculo Fortuny. And that, for example, has led the way, and I saw in your introduction that is the aim of this conference. So, yes.
We are doing in 2 ways. Now we have a huge program of cross-branding between our brands, and has been, for me, it was amazing because it was a huge success. And we are trying to put next year a program that I'm going to ask for Círculo Fortuny, for Comité Colbert, for Opul, for example, for Garrido, to send one of these masters to one of our brands, and I'm going to interchange. Because I think if we are smart doing this, 1 + 1 will be 3.
Or 5.
Or 5.
Yeah.
And that is something that we need to change our mentalities. Open and give opportunity to develop new ideas. We need new ideas too in the luxury.
It has been a pleasure to be with you this small period of time. Thank you very much for being here today.
Thank you for inviting me.
And
Thank you.
I hope that this round table, I think it was very promising at the beginning, very inspiring, the title, and I think that we have met your expectations. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.